Finally, Miami Hurricanes spring game is tomorrow. Let's talk to a couple of the standout early enrollee true freshmen.
You are Locked On Canes, your daily podcast on the Miami Hurricanes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Friday. I'm Alex Donno, University of Miami alumnus, longtime South Florida sports radio vet and writer for allhurricanes.com, also host of Locked On ACC. Thank you so much to the everydayers for making Locked On Canes your first listen and your first watch today. We're free wherever you get your podcasts. We're free on YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We have the privilege of sitting down today, not only with Miami Hurricanes true freshman offensive tackle, who I call this guy the spokesman of the class of 2024. He was an ambassador. He was so active on social media. Deryc Plazz is going to join us. And first, we're going to talk with one of those standouts from Chaminade, Madonna, former four-star safety. He's now a collegiate safety, Zaquan Patterson. So happy to be joined by Cane Connection athlete and Miami Hurricanes early enrollee freshman safety. You know him, you love him, out of Chaminade, Madonna. Zaquan Patterson is with us. Zaquan, thank you for being here. How you doing, sir?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
Now, you didn't have to travel too far to come down to the U, but what's the transition been like to college life? You know, making that jump from high school. Before we get into the football stuff, just the cultural stuff, because, you know, you should still be in high school right now. You get that jump being enrolled early.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a different pace. You know, everything's going at a different pace, like, you know, just tutoring and like assignments. You got to have, it makes you have to have a whole lot more responsibility, you know. But I feel like here at Miami, they gave us a lot of help when it comes to education wise, and, you know, just getting accustomed to being here, especially when you're early, because, you know, it's real tough for some people. So.
Yeah. And also, like, from a football standpoint, how much of an advantage do you feel like it is to be here early? Because not everybody has that luxury. Like, there are other great players that are going to be enrolling this summer who, you know, weren't able to get here early. What does it mean to you to be able to get that semester jump?
I mean, it's big. It's big. It's definitely a head start, a jump start. You know, you get into the playbook real early. You get accustomed to the game speed and how things are moving at a different pace, because it's a completely different pace. I just feel like it's giving me the opportunity to step forward, step up early, you know, and have a better shot at being a true freshman.
Yeah, and from what I've seen from you in practices, Zaquan, you've been doing really well. Do you feel like you've been adapting so far under Coach Guidry, and you've got a good mix of, in that safety room, good mix of experienced teammates, some other young, hungry guys? How do you feel like practices have gone for you up to this point?
Practices have been great. You know, it's a whole lot of learning involved in it. You know, a whole lot of mistakes happening. But, you know, that's what's part of the game. You know, that's how you grow. I feel like me being here early is kind of like a better opportunity. I feel like, because, you know, those guys that's coming in later, they're gonna have less time to be ready. They're not gonna have enough time to really get accustomed. And when I say that, I know that for a fact now, because I've been here for a while now. I think I'm going on like month 3 right now, and it's like, shit, this is a lot. But imagine how they're gonna have to cram that all into a small amount of time. So, you know, I feel like it's good though. Yeah.
You know, something I noticed about you watching you in high school is you take a lot of pride not only in what you do on defense, but also what you do on special teams. Do you imagine and hope for some special team roles at Miami as well?
You know, absolutely. I feel like special teams is definitely a big factor in the game. I feel like, this here's how I think about it. If I block one field goal, that's points off the board. Like, at the end of the day, it's still a factor. You know, you still can score. If you block a point, you can pick it up, score. It's like you still can make plays on special teams, and I feel like a lot of people take that for granted, and I feel like that's where I can make the most of my opportunities.
Talk to me about the other safeties in the room at Miami, and you know, someone else I've noticed a lot in practices is Mish Powell, who comes in with all that experience from Washington. What's he been like, and what have been the other guys, Jaden Harris and Savion Riley and so on? What have they been like to practice with?
I mean, those guys are great. They're doing a great job, like guiding me through the process. I want to say Mish he has stepped up and become one of the leaders on our defense early on. I want to say he started make his voice be heard. Probably first day he came in the weight room, he said, "Hey, y'all boys, let's get it together." We was probably talking too much. He probably got us together, but he's definitely a great leader. He knows what it takes to get to national championship. He knows what he has to draw to his teammates to get there, and he tries to pull out of us every day. And then guys that's been through the system like Jaden, that's been in the program like Jaden Harris and Markeith. These guys have they have the experience, the depth, the knowledge behind the playbook, and they have really walked me through. I kind of follow behind Jaden Harris in practice, as we go through the plays. I kind of follow behind him so I can get a better view, because he's one of he know that playbook. That's one thing about Jaden. He know that playbook. He gonna make them. He know that playbook, and that's why he make the plays he make, because he already knows what's gonna go on.
Now, talk to me about the battles in practice. Like iron sharpens iron. Tell me about Miami's offense and who are some of the guys when you're doing one-on-one drills, team drills. Who are some of the guys you go up against, and who give you some of the toughest battles?
I want to say, we got a couple guys that's really been showing out this spring. I want to say Elijah Lofton has been one of those guys that's been doing his thing at every level. They put him at, they put him at tight end, they put him at running back here and there, and he's been doing a great job. Jacoby George, my old teammate Josiah, my teammate now too, JoJo, Nakar, it's a lot of guys that have been in the program. Ray has been doing good as well. Robbie has been doing well at receiver, and it's a couple more guys. I don't know them all off the top of my head. Smirk too. Smirk has been stepping up too. So it's a lot of guys that's been stepping up. That's been in the program, and they just doing their thing. Shepo, we got a whole bunch of guys that's been doing their thing out there. Yeah, so.
Well, and talk to me about Cam Ward. What's he been like? And it's obviously you're going up against receivers with a lot of the balls that he's throwing out there. What's he been like?
He's a great player. I want to say one of those guys that's really a good leader, just like Mish. Cam he's a competitor though. That's one thing I see in him that I don't really see in a lot of quarterbacks in general. They use a lot of quarterbacks sometimes can be timid, and they can run away from a great If practice gets intense, Cam's in the middle of practice. Cam ain't gonna run away from the intensity. He ain't gonna run away from the hard moments. He make a mistake, he gonna step right back up. So it's like I can see that. I can see him leading us to great things. As long as he he feels comfortable, because I can tell he feels comfortable in the playbook. We gonna be good.
And Cam's talked about this a little bit about how he's not hesitant to talk a little trash. What about you? Do you talk any trash in practice?
A whole lot of it, yeah.
I love it. Oh man, I love it. So talk to me about Lance Guidry, because defensive coordinator, but he spends a lot of time, of course, coaching the safeties. That's his background, safety coach. He basically fills that role at Miami. What's Coach Guidry been like since you've been here?
He's been great. He has expanded my knowledge of the game. Just the little things that that I want to say people in my past, coaches and stuff, that I forgot to miss. Like he makes sure I know everything in and out of this defense. Like he's doing a very good job. I want to say, if I was any other coach, I don't think they could do what he's been doing with me. With the playbook and everything. He's been really good. He breaks down when we break down film every chance we get, and he talks to us about all the things that we could do in the play. So he understands what he played DB, so he understands what's going on, like what we see in the game. So he's definitely relatable in a sense,
You mentioned your former teammate who's still your teammate, Joshisa Trader, who you guys came in with together. I know you guys go way back. So what did it mean, like, for the two of you to be able to come into Miami together, to stay in South Florida and keep representing this community?
I know it means a lot. It definitely means a lot. You know, I wish you could have bring everybody from Chaminade
So do
to
I.
Miami with us, but it means a lot. It's definitely a plus one just to, you know, not only go somewhere, go to college, being, you know, that's already nerve wracking in itself, but now you got somebody that you've been around almost your whole life, so it makes it that much, like, a little bit more easier, you know.
I'm really thankful to Canes Connection to be able to bring you and I together to have this conversation. What does it mean to you to be part of Canes Connection?
Canes Connection is great. You know, they have helped me connect with the community, as well as, you know, help my family and get my brand out there. I feel like they've been doing a very good job with us, spreading the word of what we're trying to push here at Miami, and I'm definitely looking forward to continue working with them.
Yeah, all these months of hard work since you first arrived on campus. You started going through strength and conditioning. Now these spring game is going to be the 15th spring practice. What are you looking forward to doing, to accomplishing in the spring game, and what do you want your fans to be able to see from you tomorrow?
I would like to see them. I would like my fans to see my versatility. You know, as well as my, like, you know, I never had to play that in high school. I was more of a nickel, so I never really had to call the shots when it came to, like, checks. I want to show them that too as well. I feel like I have grown in that aspect as well, and you know, you just make plays. You know, I just gotta push that dog mentality that I always push.
You know, is there anybody like growing up, who were some of the safeties you looked up to, whether it be former Miami players, former NFL players? Is there anybody you kind of model your game after?
Only, like, it's like a couple guys. You know, I never really, like. It's Cam Chancellor, Tyrann Mathieu,
Okay.
and he's not a safety, but it was Richard Sherman, actually. Just because how much he talked. I loved how much he talked. It was so funny.
Oh, I can appreciate that for sure. Zaquan Patterson, I'm so happy you're doing well. You're enjoying your time so far at Miami. Have an awesome spring game and enjoy your weekend coming up.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. We're also proudly brought to you by Game Time. Guys, the Game Time app has been a game changer for me when it comes to getting tickets, last-minute tickets to sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, you name it. Game Time is now an official authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets even faster and easier. You won't believe the prices you can get from Marlins games, by the way. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. And guys, I'm finally living in a world where procrastination is rewarded, because I may decide, Marlins are playing in an hour, or first pitch has already happened and I want to get great tickets. You can find the best possible deals at Game Time. Folks, this is the only ticket app I've used since I discovered Game Time. The all-in pricing is a game changer. They show you the true total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. I know a lot of other sites try to do that. The Game Time guarantee means if you find tickets in the same section or row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege. for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code Locked On College for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So happy to be joined by a guy who he was the ambassador of the class of 2024, early enrollee now at Miami, Canes Connection athlete, Miami offensive tackle, Deryc Plazz. Derek, thank you so much for taking some time. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing so well, man. And this is your first semester at Miami, early enrollee. How's everything going? Is your head spinning a little bit? How's everything going?
No, everything's going great.
Talk to me about, so before we get to the on the field stuff, you were so present all over social media. You're such an ambassador for Miami. Is that just your personality? Like, how important is it to you to be out there preaching the gospel of the U?
I mean, yeah, it's in my personality, but it's just something. I fell in love with the school, so I felt it was necessary to dish that out to other players and other people in general.
So you've been at the U now for a few months, right? Since January. And prior to spring football, you had the strength and conditioning program. What's that been like for you? How much size and strength have you added since you've gotten here?
Oh, yeah, it's been great. Coach Phil does a great job. Him and his staff do a great job of getting us physically prepared, getting us stronger, faster, bigger. And Katie and the nutrition do a great job as well as teaching us what things to put into our body, when to use different things, when to eat different things. So I came in 290, right? Right now I'm at 312 right now. So I put on some good pounds.
Dude, I'm happy to hear that. And that's all that, like, you're talking about the nutrition, that's all good way. Cause for me, like I could put on 22 pounds if I'm going through like 4 drive-through windows a day. You're doing it the right way, unlike me. And so, okay. You're almost at the end of spring football. The spring game is coming up tomorrow. You guys have been putting in 5+ weeks in practice, and all that came after all the strength and conditioning and stuff. How much do you feel like you've learned since these practices began?
Oh, I've learned a ton. Being in a room with a lot of older guys that are extremely experienced, such as Jalen, Zach, Coop, Matt McCoy, even the younger guys like Samson and CC, who are very intelligent. It's always something to learn. Then with the coaches we have, Coach Mirabal, Pat Bain, Coach Cristobal, every day I'm learning something new. And it's just knowing when to implement those things, different things like that. But it's been a major learning process, and it's been very great. Wouldn't want to do it with another group of guys.
Yeah, man. How different is it? Pretty much the same techniques that you were, employing at Mandarin and Jacksonville, or how much have the techniques changed for you at the collegiate level so far?
Oh yeah, the techniques are completely different. It's a whole different ball game in college. The high school stuff, you kind of can get away with different things that may not be technically sound, because you're better than a lot of the people you're going to play. But here, everybody is good, especially down here. We have a competitive offensive line room as well as defensive line. So Coach Mirabal wants things done a certain way. So just learning how he wants them done and knowing when to implement those different techniques, it's been a process, but it's great.
Talk to me about going up against that defensive line in practice. Who are some of the guys you battle with most often, and who really stands out on the other side of the football?
Me and Marquise Lightfoot pretty much go at it every day. We go against each other in all of our one-on-ones, team pass, all the different periods throughout our practice. Somebody who's standing out to me so far is definitely Jared, Harrison Hunt, Jay Wayne, definitely Cole McConaughey, Ruben Bain. We just got a loaded defensive line room. So a lot of those guys, it's always no matter who you face up against, it's going to be great competition.
Yeah, talk to me about McConaughey, because like you, he's a freshman and early enrollee. I was watching him the other day, and it was like the first time I really got like a close look at him. He very, very good size and physique for a freshman. He was doing some work with Ruben Bain and Jason Taylor. I've heard really good reviews. I can only see so many things as a member of the media. I've heard great reviews about McConaughey so far.
Yeah. Yeah, Cole is great. He's an extremely hard worker. Like, when he first got here, I come up here to work out. I see him at night getting some work in just by himself. Nobody got to tell him to do that. I think he's going to be a guy that can contribute for us early because he came in focused. He's physically ready, but then he's also he under a great coach in JT. And he's an extremely hardworking guy. He's an extremely tough dude too. He's going to be a really great football player.
Yeah, talk to me about your philosophy when you're on the field and what type of an offensive lineman you are, because something that stood out to me and watching what I could of your high school tape, and I think it was one of the high school all-star games where you were like, you put somebody on their butt, man. So you seem to be, and anybody who plays your position has got to be physical, of course, but you seem to put an extra emphasis on that.
Yeah, so I was a big finish guy. I put quotations on it because Coach Mirabal has totally changed my definition of that. I was always trying to pancake guys and stuff, but now in college it's different because when you're blocking, you're going up against some dudes, so you can't just move everybody around willingly. So sometimes it's just about playing to the whistle blows, doing the little thing. When the defense lineman tries to rip off, you do that as well. So my game has totally changed since being here, being coached by Coach Mirabal.
That's good to hear. And I always ask the offensive lineman about this, Derek, because you also have the luxury of the head coach having played offensive line and been an offensive line coach for a long time. He's able to spend some extra time with your unit and go over technique. Like, how much of a luxury is that for you as an offensive lineman because, I don't know what the percentage is, but I don't think a whole lot of head coaches out there are former O-line coaches. That's a luxury for you guys at Miami.
Yeah, it's great. And I know we were one of the few schools that have that. So just being able to go through indie drills with 4 eyes on you, 4 sets of eyes on you, it's amazing, especially when there's guys that have played at the level you want to play at, such as Pat Bain. Coach Mirabal is a phenomenal coach. He has a long rap sheet of NFL players. Then a great head coach like Coach Cristobal, being an offensive line guy, we get a lot of attention from Coach Cristobal. He pays a lot of attention to detail and tuning up to find things that you may not think a big deal. It's great having a coach like that.
How do you feel your unit, the offensive line, not only with the way you guys have been practicing, but how have you been doing in terms of building the chemistry? Because that specific position group, 5 guys on the field, they all have to be on the same page and working as a unit.
Yeah, Coach Mirabal only recruits a certain type of guy for his room. He told me that through recruitment, he recruits certain type of guys because he has to protect his room. And now that I'm here, it's something I understand a lot because all of us gel together quickly and easily. Everybody cool, everybody tight. We're all tight together. We all trust each other. And, just going out there to work with each other every day, you trust the man next to you because that's your brother. Y'all are tight. Y'all have that connection. So I think that's something Coach Mirabal has done a great job of, not forcing us to be that way, but naturally recruiting guys that he know fit together.
You got to talk to me about Cam Ward. What's he like and how's he been doing in practice?
I mean, Cam Ward is phenomenal. Coming in, we didn't know what we were getting. I mean, best quarterback in the portal, like one of the top quarterbacks in the country, could have went to the NFL. We don't know if we're getting a Hollywood guy but he got here first. He got here same time as us, as freshmen. And he was amazing. He's a very down-to-earth guy. He knows everybody's name throughout the entire building, not just players on the team. He's a phenomenal leader, and the whole team is bought into making sure that we do our part because he does his part. He holds everybody to a high standard. So having a quarterback like that is amazing. And then he does a great job of building relationships because he took almost every position group out to dinner or to his house or different things like that to spend time with people and build relationships. So on the field, he's fantastic. He makes crazy plays. Now, him connecting with guys that we already have and having the time to make the plays, it's going to make things a lot easy for us this year.
I like it. Well, what's been you talk about the football adjustment from high school, but what about the whole cultural adjustment? Because you're an early enrollee, in a different universe. You'd still be in high school right now, but you get the jump early at Miami. What's it been like, kind of getting used to collegiate classes, being on campus? Talk to me about that.
It's actually not bad because we have a lot of the resources that we need. We have all of the resources that we need, I should say. So Coach Cristobal is our coach, but the staff around here, the academic staff, they do a great job of putting us in position to be successful and making the transition extremely smooth.
I love it. And what does it mean to you to be a part of Canes Connection?
It means a lot to be a part of Canes Connection. Canes Connection is a phenomenal resource helping us build our brand, getting us involved in the community with different kids and things like that, and doing the small things that we may not think a big deal, but 10 years from now, 30 years from now, the connections that we build through Canes Connection set us up to be very successful in life outside of football.
I'm so pumped for the spring game. And, for a lot of fans out there, this is going to be their first opportunity to watch
Mhm.
Canes football since the season ended. What are the team goals, Derek, for Saturday? What are you guys, not only team goals, but offensive line goals that you guys would like to accomplish?
I mean, the offensive line, our goals are just to do the same thing we did the other 14 practices, because at the end of the day, it's a scrimmage, but it's just our another opportunity to get better, showcase our talents to our coaches. So I know that's everyone's focus within the O-line room as well as the whole team. Don't make it no bigger than what it is. It's a very important practice because it's the next one. So just coming in with the mindset that we're all here to work, compete, put something good on film.
What's last thing I want to ask you is what Zach Carpenter? We had a chance to speak with him a couple weeks ago, and I can tell like he's got like some pent up rage that probably comes out. Like very quiet guy, but like he seems like a silent assassin type. Does that
Yeah.
kind of come out when he's on the field playing?
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. But at the same time, it's all controlled because he does a great
Right.
job of leading the first group of O-linemen. He's not just a guy out there just playing reckless. He's a very intelligent guy. He came in with a lot of wisdom. He played a lot of college football. So having a guy like that to lead your O-line is exactly what you want.
I love it, Derek Plaz. It's so nice catching up with you, and I'm happy that you're adjusting so well, and you seem to be very enthusiastic about what's happening down in Coral Gables. So thank you so much for taking the time, and enjoy your weekend. Have a great spring game.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Folks, we had an awesome time talking there with Zaquan Patterson and with Deryc Plazz, and I'm so happy that here we've been able to team up with Canes Connection, the official NIL collective of Miami Hurricanes athletics. This is huge. I'm going to keep it real with you. Everyone who's part of this podcast, including you, the listener, wants to elevate the Miami Hurricanes back to prominence. Trust me, we're heading in the right direction, but the dawn of the NIL era has changed the landscape of collegiate athletics to where NIL opportunities matter more than ever. Strong NIL support doesn't guarantee championships, but a lack of NIL support guarantees that you won't be even in the championship conversation. That's where Canes Connection comes into play. Canes Connection isn't just any collective. It's among the nation's elite, well-run, organized, and effective. If you don't believe me, check out the recruiting rankings for football and basketball from last year. Look at the quality transfers that have made their way to Coral Gables. You can visually see the difference you are making. NIL landscape is extremely competitive. By supporting Canes Connection, our Locked On Canes community can make a direct impact on Hurricanes athletics by making Canes Connection the premier collective in the country. It's not easy. It's going to take each and every one of us stepping up and becoming a member. So head over to canesconnection.com, check out their membership page, choose your monthly plan. They range from $25 to $1,000 a month, and support helps them. During checkout, make sure to use the promo code LOCKED to snag 20% off your first month. Again, sign up at canesconnection.com. Don't forget to use promo code LOCKED, LOCKED, for $20 off your first month of any monthly membership level. And thank you guys so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen and your first watch today. Zaquan, Deryc Plazz, fantastic. We're going to be talking later this weekend with Malik Bryant, who came in as a linebacker. He's doing well now as an edge rusher at Miami. We'll talk to everyone after the spring game. We're going to do some post-game coverage. I think the Truth Teller and I are going to get together on campus after the spring game to talk about it. We'll talk to you next time on another episode of Locked On Canes. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.